tell you about another experience that I had. I had a man come to me. It was at a youth camp, and he was a young man. He would have been about 16, and there were about 100 kids there, and I was the health speaker. And these girls brought him and said, "He's got a sore knee, can you fix his knee?" So I began to investigate. I said, "Have you injured the knee?" "Yeah, I tore a muscle in the knee," he said, "about 2 months ago." I said, "Oh, what have you been doing?" And he got a packet out of his pocket that was full of big pink tablets. And I knew straight away they were heavy painkillers. I said, "Who gave you these?" "Oh, my auntie, she's a doctor and she just gives them to me." What he's doing is he gets up, takes the painkiller and goes and plays soccer. And then goes and runs around all day. The painkiller is stopping the pain, but the pain is there to tell him, stop. I said to him, every time you take that painkiller, you are losing your message from your body that's telling you to stop. He said, "Well, what'll I do?" I said, "I think you've got to get a pair of crutches. I think you've got to start doing hot and colds to that. You've got to start doing poultices, and you've got to get that leg up." Oh, he did not like my advice. He just wanted me to have a cream or something that he could put on his knee and it would be instantly fixed. That's why I wanted no painkillers when I hurt my ankle. I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear the pain. We had a lady do our program and she was on very heavy morphine for pain. She had stomach cancer. Now, we're not going to touch that morphine, because when someone is in advanced stages of cancer and they're in a lot of pain, it is mercy to give them something to ease that pain. Absolutely. I have no problem with that at all. Now, we discovered that her bowels hadn't moved for 6 days. And so we gave her herbs and water treatments and we got the bowels moving. We got her gastrointestinal tract moving. Within 24 hours, she could halve her morphine. Within 5 days, she was off all morphine. That's why you've got to investigate. Why is it there? Now, every case is different. That's why there cannot be a blanket for every case. You've got to investigate and find out why the pain is there. And sometimes it's damage that has been done over many, many years. And then you've got scar tissue build-up. So when there's scar tissue build-up, you can apply a castor oil compress. What castor oil does is it penetrates very, very deep. So with castor oil, it penetrates very, very deep, and wherever castor oil penetrates, it breaks up lumps, bumps, adhesions. So castor oil compresses are excellent for breaking up scar tissue. And some people who had surgery maybe 20 years ago are starting to have problems because of the scar tissue. What's also important is hot and colds on the stomach, or a big tub where they can sit in the hot and sit in the cold. Then you're getting a massive supply of blood into the area. And then the castor oil compress. So with the castor oil compress, it can be used again and again and again. You are best not to take the castor oil by mouth. You basically put it on the outside of the body. I have met several ladies who were able to break down their breast lumps with castor oil. Now, when the lumps were big, they were painful. They said the castor oil brought that lump right down. Not overnight, and not even in a month. You know, it's possibly 20 years in the making. So, but the good news is it's not 20 years to go away, but little by little by little. So we had one young man who came to do our program. He was only 15, and he had pain in his rectum, around the anal area. He'd already had a couple of operations there, so he's got a bit of scar tissue there, and sometimes he leaked bowel fluid, which of course was terribly embarrassing for a 15-year-old boy. Sometimes he had constipation and then he had no leakage. So that told me the gut's not working. And so we got the gut working well. We gave him some slippery elm, which coats, soothes and heals the lining of the gut. And we did hot and colds in the sitz baths. See, with the sitz baths, you've got a tub like this, and he would sit in the tub like that. So the water's like this, and we put a big smile on his face because this brought him incredible relief. So we did hot for 30 seconds, and we did hot for 3 minutes, cold for 30 seconds, and we did that 3 times. We did it every morning and every night. And he had no accidents when he was with us. His bowels are working a lot better. And these hot and colds brought incredible relief to the pain that he'd been feeling in his anus. We also encouraged him to freeze castor oil. So you put castor oil on, say, some cotton wool, and you make it the size of your little finger, and then soak that cotton wool with the castor oil and you freeze it. It will take 3 days to freeze. So what we did was when they were frozen, he inserted the castor oil into his anus, so it's like a pessary, and he left it there all night. So in the morning when he went to the bathroom, it would come out with his daily evacuation. So he did that every night. We did the hot and colds twice a day. And he went home a very happy young man. He went home with no pain. And when he'd come, he said his pain averaged 4, 5, sometimes 6 out of 10. Definitely 6 out of 10 if he was on his feet a lot. Now remember, he's only 15. And the doctors had said they could not do any more operations to the anal area. They were trying to tighten it a little so he wouldn't have leakage. But those hot and colds, they had a powerful effect on that anal area. I didn't hear any more. And about 5 years later, a lady did our program, and she said, he was my nephew. She said he never had another leakage. She said it's just quite incredible. He and his parents cannot believe the turnaround. Now, I did suggest when he goes home that he do the hot and cold sitz baths for every evening for 30 days. Then he could have a month break and do it for another 30 days. It only takes 15 minutes. I said, just find a time where you can do it. So he did it in the evening, which of course was the best time. He might do it in the evening and then have his shower and go to bed. Now, you didn't have to talk him into doing this. He was just so excited. Anyway, I met someone who knew him 10 years later. So this is happening about 18 years ago. And they said, he's married now and his wife's expecting their first child. How nice. Just such simple treatments.